While missteps with credit cards can lead to trouble, using them wisely can be a financial game changer, especially when it comes to earning rewards like airline miles. But we could be seeing a change that would significantly impact how travelers earn and use their miles. Here to discuss these potential changes and their impact on our local economy is Elliot Summey, Executive Director and CEO at Charleston International Airport. Elliot, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And can you speak to really the impact of these credit card rewards on our economy here in Charleston?
Sure, certainly. You know, just alone, last year alone, 60,000 tickets were bought or to come to or from Charleston with rewards points. The person who travels by air to Charleston, stays a night longer, spends roughly $2,000 in their stay more than a person who drives here. That's a lot of money. It's about a $200 million economic impact to the state of South Carolina last year alone, just with rewards points. So that's a big deal. But it's also, if you think about it, that's money that they're spending. If they're saving money on tickets, flying into Charleston, the more money they spend with our people. And that's really what we want to do. We want to be an economic development incubator at the airport for our small business folks that live in Charleston.
And obviously people come to Charleston. There's lots of reasons why people come here.
Sure.
But now there is a bill that's been proposed. It's still in its infancy, the Credit Card Competition Act of 2023. Can you speak to what that's all about?
Sure. They want to do a couple things, but most of which they want to get rid of the excise tax that is charged to the merchant when you use your credit card. Not what you're actually paying, but what the merchant's paying. That's how the credit card companies actually pay for these rewards programs. If that goes away, those rewards programs go away. So ultimately what happens is every time you swipe your card, whether it's with a Chase, Capital One, American Express, there's really no difference because then there's no way to earn points to get anything back. So I know you know everybody sees the advertisements on TV with whoever it is with cashback or points and times 3 miles and all that stuff. Well, all that would go away. So, and I know as you know, before I was at the airport, being a small business person, using points a lot of times helped me get to customers cheaper for my small business. Or if I was going somewhere, I could pay with points to bring my wife along. And you know what? She's not going to just sit in the hotel. She's going to go out and spend money and eat in restaurants and shop in stores. So, you know, those points rewards programs are very important. Not just for the tourism market in Charleston, but for business folks here in South Carolina.
Yeah, and so they're trying to get rid of that average, 3% transaction fee? So that is what they're pushing as the benefit if this bill were to get passed. Sure,
companies like Walmart, Target, Home Depot, they're the ones really pushing it, right? Because, you know, they're publicly traded companies. If they weren't paying that 3% fee on credit cards, I'm sure for companies like Walmart, that's hundreds of millions of dollars, and that looks great for Wall Street. But it doesn't do anything for the consumer.
And now as far as tourism goes, obviously that's a huge market here in Charleston. And I feel like are we still recovering from the pandemic? Are we at a point now where we're good? Or are we still working towards that?
No, we're in a great spot. I think, you know, what we've seen in Charleston is so resilient. And we selfishly, we live in the greatest place in the world, right? And I think what we strive to do, at least at the airport, and I know with our partners down at Explore Charleston, is make sure that we find a way to enhance the tourism opportunity here, but also keep what makes us special, right? And as long as we balance those two, I think it's great. But also, our goal at the Aviation Authority is to also make sure that the folks in the low country of South Carolina have every opportunity to fly to places they want to go as cheap as they want to go, as cheap as they can. That's why we've really invested in low-cost carriers here. We've got 13 airlines now that come to the Aviation Authority instead of the 8 we had 4 years ago. We fly to 69 different destinations. We used to fly to 22. And it's cheaper to fly in and out of Charleston today than it used to be. Using those points is another way to do that. So for me, it's not just about the tourists, but it's about the folks that live in the low country of South Carolina and doing our little part we can to enhance their quality of life.
Absolutely. And this bill, like I said, it's in its infancy, so we don't have to freak out just yet.
That's right.
Elliot, thank you so much for joining us, and we will keep our eyes on this bill and keep you all updated.
Thanks you for having me.
We're back in 2 minutes.